Anyways, so yeah, that is the push that is going on in terms of our revolution. In terms of the local perspective, because obviously they couldn't just focus on Salinas and Monterey County, here's what's going on. In terms of the people who are involved with the Bernie campaign, who are trying to run for office, as you heard, Wes White, he's going through a struggle right now, but he's in the process of trying to run for Salinas City Council District 4. He was somebody who helped start the Bernie campaign off back, January of 2016? Yeah, so Wes, along with Becky Monrez and others, Joanne Robbins, they were some of the first people to get involved in terms of hosting phone banks, things of that nature. But Wes White, he's basically the only one coming out of this Bernie movement who's running for office, or trying to, here in Salinas. In terms of the Central Coast, we have Kayla Gibson. She's running for city council over in Marina, or is it Seaside?
Kayla Jones.
Kayla Jones, sorry. It's Seaside though, right? Yeah. So Kayla is running off in Seaside, and then Councilman Alan Hoffa, who's already a councilman, he is running for re-election in Monterey. So those are the local candidates who are definitely actively involved in the Bernie campaign. What I want to do now is, if you have ideas for going forward locally, now would be the time to share them. I have a few I want to get out there, because obviously these are the people you look forward to get involved in this type of stuff, because the first step is just coming out for a meeting. You know, the second step is going and hitting out the doors and talking to other people to get involved. The few plugs I want to throw out there is, one, she's not local, but she is a progressive. If anybody has relatives or friends in State Senate District 3, that would be like Davis, Vacaville, like Solano County, Napa, Sonoma, Yolo. I used to intern for a woman named Mariko Yamada. She's a former assemblywoman. She's highly progressive. When I interned for her back in around 2002, she was not even an elected official, and she was already moving to get pay for interns, which even to this day is something you rarely see. Just last week, she was part of a fast in support of AB 1066. It's a bill to get overtime for farm workers. Unfortunately, you didn't even hear about it from many elected officials here. So despite the fact that we're in the middle, in the heart of agriculture areas, I have to look to YOLO to find out information on what's going on to support farm workers. So if you have friends or families there, please encourage them to volunteer for Mariko Yamada. She is highly progressive. She's been very big on protecting elderly from scams, healthcare, and making sure community college is free for them. The two other projects we have going on, I, along with Jane and Mike Roberts, we're going to try to get a ballot education program off the ground. One of the problems we had that we encountered in this whole Bernie campaign thing here in Salinas was a lot of people just didn't really know about voting. You know, some people, you talked about registering for NPP, non-party preference, and you know, that was an uphill battle, you know, because a lot of people were not familiar with how to vote. So them as former educators, we'll be trying to get a project off the ground, working with a local charter school to where people can go and become educated on things that are coming up on not only the ballot, but then shifting focus on more of a citizenship project after. The third thing is, some of the degenerates on the bar you see that I hang out with, we'll be starting a podcast in both English and Spanish. You guys might have heard about the Monterey Bay Partisan. It's a news source that kind of speaks up about local issues, where you can get a little more info than just say the Californian or KOION. We'll be doing that in podcast form, not only in English, but also in Spanish. So that's something, if you guys have projects going on, please let me know, or, you know, Walter, Raj is outside. But, you know, we're trying to get the focus on Salinas issues that don't get enough airtime, from just like KSBW in California. No, I won't lie, you know, the Bernie campaign, we got wonderful coverage from local news media, but you can never have too much. And so lastly, if you guys have projects that you're already working on, I know the fracking people will be coming back after their event, but if others here have ideas for what you want to see worked on here in Salinas, now's the time to share. Because basically, Salinas is the sleeping giant. You know, that fracking press conference that went on in Spreckles, we tried to get it in Salinas first, but there was kind of some pushback against it. Because a lot of people felt, you know, they didn't want to get involved with that. There was no local political support from any elected official here in Salinas. You know, so any project that you can get going to either work on getting people elected or getting people you know elected would be a huge help. Because everything that was done in Salinas was without local political help. None. You know, we still came within 1,000 votes. So after Hillary beat Obama by 2-1 in 2008, losing by about 1,000 wasn't so bad. So does anybody else have ideas for things they want to see get off the deck here in Salinas? You know, Mike?
I don't have a specific project, but if you as a person has a particular thing in our city government or our county government that gets to you, then go to city council meetings, go to commission meetings, go to board of supervisor meetings, and listen to what they say and ask your questions, and then chances are you will get more than one person who agrees with you, and you can help work together to push forward your agenda. And if Dominic gets some podcasts going, you can bring those agendas to this medium and be a way to express an alternative point of view on what's going on in our, you know.
Absolutely. One of the biggest problems is Salinas has a lot of groups doing a lot of different things, but we don't all meet up. You know, there's a fracking group, there's an immigration group, there's a police activist group. You know, it's tough to kind of get everybody on the same page. So if you have ideas, like I said, now's the time to share them, you know, so everybody can hear about them.
Several years ago, we had a gang intervention.
The gang task force.
Well, prior to that, there was another program which provided for jobs and when people come out of prison and were willing to forego violence. This program nationally has a better record than any other violence intervention program. It's very successful everywhere it's been tried. It started out here and there was pushback and it was dropped. And that was so silly because it is the most effective program.
Are you talking about like Barrios Unidos that used to go on about 10, 15 years ago?
No. But this was about 5 or 6 years ago. And this was replaced by the gang task force, which was a horrendous waste of time. And accomplished absolutely nothing, and in fact escalated the violence. So we let go of a program that was very effective and has been used all over the country and is very successful to replace it with something that right out of the Middle Ages, just absolutely silly and very, very confrontational with citizens, and in fact did nothing. I would like to see the city go back to this program that actually.
Do you know people who'd be willing to get it off the ground again? And the reason why I say that is this, that there's a lot of great ideas out there, but a lot of times if you're going to go to the city, you got to have somebody willing to just say, we're going to help do the grant writing, you know, or we're going to help find the volunteers or the first people who are going to work on it. Because, you know, the city, you can give them the idea, but...
The city, I mean, this was already set up. It was funded through the Department of Justice, it was funded through the state, and Jerry Brown's support, you know, it was going, and it was proven to be one of the only really effective programs.
Right.
I just bring up.
Yeah, let us know, because I mean, you know, Adam and James are always here. The biggest thing, and I can't emphasize this enough, you know, you have to, a lot of times the best ideas, you have to be the first one to work smart. You know, it really just comes down to that. You know, Wes with the homeless advocacy. You know, right now they've been going for 5 months camping out at City Hall from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. You know, you just have to go do it. You know, and along the way, that's how you get the attention and hopefully build on the issue. You know, the city, they're not really receptive to things all the time unless you have that group ready just to say, well, we're going to make a noise about it. You know, but definitely get us the name of that. You know, maybe we can find somebody who wants to take it up. You know, so that's the main thing. Yeah, so you guys can exchange information on that if you guys want to get it going. Does anybody know? Yeah.
Well, you know, I wasn't really prepared to talk about this, but you're bringing it up, and there's a kind of a gnawing thing. I was recruiting people to go to the elections office after the vote and actually count the 46% that hadn't actually been counted of the votes, and we were there for like 3 weeks, and you know, something that's gnawing at me, and I've actually been in touch with Ballots for Bernie, and there's a lot of different things, and trying to share information. Our county was very close, District 21, but and our county was, I think, like 3,000 votes off, something like that, not very, very different. But the thing that's gnawing at me, well, first of all, they're working on getting Alex Padilla, the Secretary of State, to actually standardize the procedures, because from county to county, the actual registrars, it's up to their discretion how they do certain things unless they're laws. So that's a good step in the right direction. But the thing that keeps kind of gnawing at my brain is the fact that our county and our registrar is actually in violation of some California election laws. And one of them is the 1% tally, which I have asked repeatedly for our registrar, Claudio Valenzuela, to uphold, but you know, he is in violation. So basically what I've done is I've given the information to Citizens Oversight Committee, which has a lawsuit going, but Monterey County is so small that I don't even think that we're going to matter. But it really bothers me that there actually is a law on the books, and they just totally ignore it. And what the 1% tally does is it's a physical tally that counts the votes, a percentage of the votes, and then they compare it to the computerized votes. And what it does is it checks for hacking or
Statistical anomalies.
Anomalies, and then we'll go by the written one. But basically, what the Monterey County Registrar has done is he is only doing the 1% tally on votes that were received up to election day. So basically, Hillary Clinton won all of those votes because it's all of these, the other stuff for Bernie kind of came in after, and the late voters all came in after. So basically, he is in violation, and there's not a whole lot, he's not even paying attention to that. So that's annoying me, and I don't know, I mean, it's kind of like in the back of my mind. He still hasn't even answered my email questions that were written to him about the different amounts, you know, of the different ballots that were done and this and that. And yeah, I mean, I feel like he needs to answer to us. I mean, should I make a big stink about it? I want to look forward.
Right.
And you know, a lot of people are like, oh, forget about the election. But if this goes on, how can we even have any confidence in any election that happens?
And this is a project, if you want to get involved in, it's not necessarily one where you have to get out there. Because a lot of people have that trepidation about talking to strangers. This is one where you can definitely focus on the emails, the phone calls, do it from home. You know, the more emails that get sent out by different people, then the more attention this problem draws. You know, it's a letter to the editor type issue. It's a speaking up at the city council or board of supervisors issue. You know, this is one where you don't have to go outside your shell as much.
So you can do it from home.
Yeah, so this is definitely one.
The email that you have, that you emailed him, you can copy and paste it to maybe another email list that we have here. We can simply copy and paste it, and good, there's 20 more emails that he's gonna get, so it's not one to ignore.
Right.
It's this, and we'll have it daily.
Well, so I contact Dominic then, right?
We'll talk about that.
In Claudio's defense, yeah, I know Claudio.
He's very
He's
sweet.
so great.
super
Okay,
nice.
but in his defense, I'm gonna say that he's hesitant to put things on an email that is in his head. So you're better off going to him personally when he takes you in his office. Believe me, and you'll find.
Oh yeah, he talked to us for hours. That's why, I mean, it's already been almost like 20 days since I asked his stuff. He spent, they had a person attached to us constantly when we were there.
Sure.
So I mean, couldn't they just get a person to just tell us how these things are going? And we had volunteers there all the time
Right.
while they were being counted. And, you know, one of his excuses for not doing the rest of the 1%, he is very nice too. We got along, and I got an email from, a phone call from him today. So we're talking, but I don't see why he can't just do what the California law says to do and do the full 1%.
Here's the other thing too, you send an email as a public records request.
Right, exactly,
they have to
exactly.
answer in
I
15
referenced the law, and and I like him, but you know, he needs to do that for people that he represents.
I'm just saying, change your approach a little bit and see if you get a different result.
What kind of approach?
Personal.
I have. I
I
talked to
mean,
him
right,
all the time.
A few more times maybe, you know.
Well, I mean, I could go and I did go to his office and we were asking for these things while we were at the elections office, and he's in and out, and you know, he's a busy guy, but this is part of his job, and he's a great guy.
It is.
I like them all there. They're all very nice.
So you're asking about local issues, Salinas issues. One big organization thing we're doing is Safe Ag, Safe School. So if you want to be involved in that, it's kind of like driving. It's a mile safety zone or buffer zone around the school campus. So they're supposed to give adequate notice because when they spray, there are effects, and especially young children. So that's huge. And another thing I'd like to do is like some kind of community forum type of deal, like a peace, love, and happiness series. Of like, you know, how to engage community in a positive way. And, you know, just say, well, here's some isms that might be true, and you know, work just non-denominational world religions, that stuff.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any ideas or suggestions they're hoping to see get off the ground?
Maybe not just Salinas, but we were talking about the podcast. I think having a web or even a mobile presence is
Oh, no,
a good idea.
I still have to do and ask about that, but we're
Okay. Well, so I was going to say, this year my team and I, we won first place at the Monterey Aquarium for our mobile app.
you design mobile apps.
Yeah, we had a guy from the Philippines.
I've been looking for somebody for about a month now.
I think you just found a friend.
Yeah, we had a guy from the Philippines contact us, and you know, the government's not doing anything. We were working on marine protected areas and real-time weather forecasts, and he's basically saying, I can't wait to see you guys get here. And I had to explain to him, we may not be going there because it's a national competition. So, suffice it to say, I don't really know much about this whole area's politics. I don't know anything about any of those signs.
Nobody does. That's the best part.
So
It's fresh.
having something that, you know, you get like a critical issue, like somebody spraying into school, like you want to blast that alert out to anybody who's using an app or a website, so that way we can congregate without having to, you know, sometimes emails becoming the new snail mail.
No, we definitely already talked. I talked to Raj, who's somewhere around here, and other people. Doug Ambort was a volunteer in Monterey who was interested more in helping with the website. But a phone app is something we've definitely been trying to get. And the reason why we want a phone app is not only to highlight the local issues, but there's also something that's been missing in Salinas for about 2 decades now. A lot of people here are older like me, or older. And I'm sure you guys remember, you know, back in the day when groups like the UFW had the No Uvas movement, the No Grapes, everybody knew about it. And this was before the internet, this was before the internet, emails, all that stuff. And yet you have something like the anti-Driscoll movement, which does not get as much play, despite the fact that information gets disseminated much more quickly. So we were hoping to get an app going in conjunction with our podcast that is non-partisan, but at least has information on finding out who the representative is, when they can attend city council, as well as board of supervisor meetings, and as well as any actionable things that are going on in terms of supporting unions and things of that nature. So if I could talk to you after, that has been my huge want the past month, is finding somebody local who designs a phone app. Because, I mean, would a lot of people be comfortable using a phone app because they hate going on the website, trying to find information? Yeah. And I lived overseas in another country, and I can tell you, when you're an immigrant in another country who doesn't speak the language, you'd much rather use your phone. And so we're trying to do it in Spanish as well. So if you guys can help us out with that as well. Yeah, so if there's no other ideas, like I said, I encourage you to talk to the people here and get involved in doing something in this community. Because, you know, Salinas is a sleeping giant. There's not a ton of stuff going, but if you remember the 80s in terms of people organizing on the east side to get the city council broken down, to have the at-large district being removed, you saw what Salinas used to be. And there's no reason why it can't be that again. You know, so talk with the people here. You know, if they have a concern that kind of matches up with your ideals, by all means, help them out. You know, this is what our revolution is about. So thank you for coming out, and I hope to see many of you again. You're just the guy I've been looking for.